Westwood is a neighborhood in Los Angeles just south of Bel Air, west of Beverly Hills, right off the 405 freeway in West LA. Primarily known for being where UCLA is, the University of Los Angeles, California. Very well-known university, home to the Bruins, where they've won several championships in a variety of different sports, and are super well known for their prestigious academics and nursing programs. And in this video, we're going to give you a map tour of what it looks like in Westwood and the surrounding neighborhoods. So in case you guys aren't from here or have any questions at all, you can take a look at what Westwood has to offer. But if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Darren Kriz. I have a real estate team out here. We help people buy, sell, invest, and rent property every day in Los Angeles. So if that's you or someone you know, reach out. Email is in the description below. But let's get started in this video showcasing Westwood. And boom, just like that, the map pops up of Westwood. You can see, like I said, location-wise, it is just west of Beverly Hills, just south of Bel Air, and just east of Brentwood and the west side of Los Angeles. We're about 15 minutes away from the Pacific Ocean. You can either take Santa Monica Boulevard or take the 405 down to the 10 freeway. It is in such a great location because it is right off the 405 freeway. You don't have to drive 20 minutes in traffic to get to a freeway if you want to go up to the valley in the northern portion of LA, or if you want to go down to the airport if you don't live in Westwood, or if you want family visiting you. Let's say you are going to UCLA as a student. When they arrive from LAX, hop on the 405. It's about 20-30 minutes in traffic. But let's check it out. Westwood, here we are. You can see the red borders surrounding it. Southern side is Santa Monica Boulevard. Eastern side, we have the LA Country Club. Now, the Los Angeles Country Club, technically within the borders of Westwood, right next to Beverly Hills. This is one of the most prestigious country clubs in all of the U.S., as the PGA, the Professional Golf Association, is hosting the U.S. Open in 2023 at this golf course, which is going to be incredible. You can see what it looks like right there. They only allow about 800 members there, and it's not going to be that cheap either. So if we look, the northern border is Sunset Boulevard and Holmby Hills, one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in all of the country, where you're going to see $100+ million homes. They got the Playboy Mansion sold for $100 million, as you can see right here in Holmby Hills. We'll give you a satellite view of what that looks like. I mean, these properties here are insane on several acres, as you can see. I mean, how many cars are even in this satellite image of the Playboy Mansion? But these are the Holmby Hills houses that have much bigger lots than you'll see in other parts of LA in general. But Holmby Hills, we're not going to touch on that because that's technically not part of Westwood. The eastern portion of Westwood is a nice residential area with sloping hills, very similar to Cheviot Hills in my opinion. But you can see, as you can see, you got Loring, Woodruff, Conway, just a bunch of different streets. These are semi-hilly. Let's drop our little man here on one of these streets and then just show you what the neighborhoods look like. Check it out. Beautiful homes with a lot of subterranean garages. You've got long driveways. We're going to go down. You've got tree-lined streets, so you're going to get a lot of shade, which is important because in the summer, it's going to be somewhat hot out here, 90 degrees or so potentially. But here are some different style of homes, a lot of character to these houses as well. You've got some gated houses too. And as we go down Loring, you can just see the neighbors, the homes. Families are living here. You know, I know people that have grown up in these streets of Westwood. You've got some contemporary styled homes. You've got some decent modern farmhouse styled homes as well. Some homes up on the hills. Just a couple older homes, newer homes, just a wide mix of homes with great people in all areas of Westwood here. Now, as we finish up down here, let's just check out a couple more. I mean, check this out. These are amazing. But let's get out of there, finish showing you the streets. This is where you're going to have a couple elementary schools. You've got Warner right there in the smack dab heart of these neighborhoods here. And then just south of these streets, just south of East Westwood, you've got the Wilshire Corridor right here, where you're going to see all the condo buildings, the infamous Wilshire Corridor that I'm sure you've driven down if you've ever been down here. That's when you know you're in Westwood, when you see all the high-rise condos. We'll drop our little man right there on the corridor as well, so you can just see what I mean instead of me just talking about it. Let's turn around, check it out. Let's have a little drive down the Wilshire Corridor. I mean, this is what finally makes you feel like you're in a city. This is as New York as it gets, but in LA, aside from being in Century City, as you head down the Wilshire Corridor, you're going to get condo buildings mainly, where you'll have older people that have lived there for decades and decades that have maybe bought their condos back in when they were originally built, and you'll see decently newer condo buildings as well that you'll have some students living in if they're going to be living in off-campus places. But there are also a lot more other places for students to live. You've got some apartment buildings as well, such as this one right here, the Victoria, now leasing, as you can see, right on the corner here on Wilshire. And these are just all very unique, but they have their own style to it. So if you have any questions at all on a specific building, a specific area over here in Wilshire in the corridor, I mean, just let me know. But that is a street view of it right there, and that goes all the way down to the 405, so you can go north or south at that point. But then we got south Westwood, where if you right along Westwood Boulevard right here, there are a decent amount of shops, restaurants, little food spots, ice cream spots, cafes right here on Westwood. You got CVS. You've got everything you'd need, a Starbucks, the banks. That's like the main southern portion of downtown Westwood. But we're not in Westwood Village yet, around where campus is. Where the main things in Westwood you're going to be wanting to hang out around and enjoying. And then these homes are a little on the lower end of Westwood, not as expensive as the ones you'll see around Holmby Hills. But if you check it out, you've got affordable homes, still really nice residential neighborhoods. A lot of one-story homes here as well, and a lot of Spanish-styled homes that have been here since the existence of Westwood decades and decades ago. This was the original Westwood portion. You can see all the Spanish homes, very similar to, and then you can see the corridor right behind some of these. This is what you're going to see a lot of in West Hollywood, Spanish duplexes as well. This is the older part of the city. And then we'll get off Rochester right there and show you. So it's very similar the entire way east side. You also have Fairburn Elementary on the southern portion. So there's your two schools right there. And as you keep going east, then you get to Beverly High, but that's considered in Beverly Hills, of course. But that's a great school, but great public school. A lot of people end up going there. Also in the corridor, of course, you have a lot of hotels. You got the Beverly Hills Plaza. You've got the Kimpton. You've got the W. You've got everything, okay? But now let's look at right next to the Los Angeles National Cemetery, which is technically not in Westwood. Also just west, you have Jackie Robinson Stadium, which is the baseball field for UCLA. It's technically not in Westwood. Look at that. Pretty interesting how it's just off. You kind of have to drive. It's off campus, which is not the greatest part about going to school at UCLA. I mean, the sports are amazing, some of the best sports teams in the entire country, but also the football games, they're going to be playing at the Rose Bowl, which is quite a distance, so it's harder to get students going to those games, but they still show out. They still have phenomenal student sections at any of the football games as well, and they've been really good the past few years, too. I've been to a handful of games myself. Shout out to some of my clients that have hooked it up with some tickets. Always really appreciate that. But as we go north of Westwood Boulevard and the Wilshire Corridor right here, let's just take a look at what we got as you go down Westwood. This is downtown Westwood. You've got it all. I'm going to actually show you right next to the cinema because that is in the heart. We're going to go to Brockton, and we're just going to show you everything. I'm sure if you've driven down Broxton, you've seen all that there is to see. It's a little blurry on this camera, but there we go. There it is. I mean, they host a lot of different events, movies. Recently I've seen a lot of red carpets going on around here at the local cinemas right here. And then we have the Westwood Village Theater right there next to the Starbucks. And then as we go down Broxton, you've got a CPK, you've got a Barney's right here. And then I spend a lot of time on Broxton if I'm ever in Westwood because they have a Chipotle right next to a Cava right here. There's the Barney's Beanery I was talking about. Great little sports bar to watch games. And as we keep going down, you're going to see just you got boba spots. You've got, let's see, where's that Chipotle, guys? Cava, Chipotle. And then, yeah, you've got it all right here. And as we keep going, there are a lot of really cool spots in Westwood. I might as well just make this video longer because this is Broxton Brewery right there. I mean, it's a really cool little bar. They have good food there as well. Broxton Brewery and Public House, as you see. And as we loop around, one of my favorite sushi spots is also just right around this street. It's Kazunori. It's a very unique vibe to that sushi spot. You pretty much are sitting at a bar where everyone is like 6 inches from each other, but there are no TVs, and you basically have to have a conversation with the chef in front of you, and they serve you only a certain amount of things. There's not a crazy menu. It's a very interesting spot. There's a few other ones in LA, one in Marina del Rey, one in like Miracle Mile area. But as we keep looking around down Westwood Boulevard, this is just what it would be like if you're commuting around school, you're going to UCLA, or you're just wanting to hang out in the area. You see the corner bakery, the CVS, what the buildings look like. You got some commercial buildings. You've got it all here on Westwood Boulevard. Let's see if we can get all the way down to campus. And here we are. Welcome home, UCLA. Go Bruins. This is it. This is the UCLA campus right there, as you can see. This is where you're going to see students walking around all the time right in front. And can we get a little farther down onto the campus? Boom, we're moving. Here are some of the buildings. Huge campus, guys. I mean, there's a lot to see around UCLA. A lot of different buildings. I mean, and a couple hospitals as well, where I know a lot of people end up working at. You know, you go to school at UCLA, you become a doctor, and then you end up working on campus as well, which is a pretty common path for a lot of people to take. But let's get out of there. That's campus. I mean, you've seen a good amount of it. It's just a standard but massive college university campus. You've got everything down there, from a couple practice football and soccer fields, several tennis courts, the famous Poly Pavilion. This is where the basketball team plays. Football practice field, more fields as well. Just lots going on here. A lot of buildings, a lot of structures. Of course, I mean, great school, great campus. I mean, if you guys know anything about UCLA or know anyone that goes there, I'm sure they have great things to say. And just north, look at that. The Bel Air Country Club is on the same street as UCLA, which, I mean, of course, you guys know Bel Air, one of the most famous cities in America. I feel like I keep saying that. One of the most famous, like everything around here is just in such a nice area. UCLA is probably located in the best area of any single university in the country. If you guys think that, let me know. Leave a comment if there might be another one that I'm not thinking of. But probably expensive-wise, like property-wise, it's one of the most expensive areas. I mean, Bel Air Country Club, one of the most prestigious golf courses anywhere, is right next to UCLA's campus. And then all of these homes can go up to $100 million as well. And if you want to see some of those homes as well, check out my luxury home tour channel. If you guys haven't seen my videos on that channel, I tour homes up in the hills in Bel Air, Beverly Hills, homes like this. If you want to see the insides of those, check that out. Darren Kriz on my other channel if you want to type that in, guys. More residential neighborhoods, which is technically, some people think this is part of Bel Air. It's technically Westwood. Similar vibes to the east side of Westwood that we showed you a bit of, but that was it here in the campus. Let me show you one more street right here. We're just going to show you a couple of these large. This is something unique to Westwood too. Some of these frat houses on this row right here. Look at that. Right here. I mean, I wasn't in a frat. I played baseball in college, so I wouldn't know too much about frats, but we got their symbols right on the homes right there, which is pretty cool. Let's keep moving along down this street. These are always fascinating to me. I think it would be a pretty interesting investment to buy a frat house or a sorority house. I mean, you know that every single year it's going to be rented out. I mean, whether or not it's going to be in that great of shape at the end of the year. I mean, they look pretty decent from the outside. They just got their flags hanging out. You just have to make sure you're a pretty good landlord, or you hire a great management company, property management team. And I do have connections in the property management space. I was in that industry for a while as well. So if you guys need to know anything, need to know anyone, need any connects, reach out to me as well. But this is the frat row pretty much in UCLA around the area. Yeah, there's some better buildings too, but it's not the crazy Greek life, the Greek row that you'll see in the South or in other parts of town or other universities. But you know, it is what it is. Like, I don't think you go to UCLA mainly to join a frat. If you're not doing much, maybe you'll eventually just hop in one to make friends. But it's always a fun time. You know, you make the most of wherever you're at in life, and UCLA is just a great school overall in general for Westwood. But I feel like this was pretty much, I just touched on everything UCLA instead of strictly the Westwood neighborhoods. I mean, so homes do range from, you can get a decent home for the high $1 millions up to about $4.5 million in these areas surrounding the elementary school. Going to be a little cheaper than up here in the north portion of Wilshire. Obviously, the more north you go, the more expensive they'll go, because then you'll go closer up into the hills as well. But if you go get something down here by Ohio and south, you can find something a little bit cheaper, and then you're going to be close to some of these shops right here on Westwood. And you can hop right on Santa Monica Boulevard, get anywhere you need, go to Century City, the Century City Mall. This is probably the best mall in all of LA, in my opinion. If you guys have been there, I don't think there's competition, honestly. It is the best mall. There's other good malls, other great outdoor malls, but the Westwood Century City Mall, Westfield Century City Mall, stands alone when it comes to a very nice mall that really just has it all for everyone. But that was pretty much everything, guys. If I touched on everything, if I answered all of your questions, if any of your questions, hit the like button down below. Also subscribe for more map tours, more driving tours as well. I'm going to show you guys everything there is to see when it comes down to living in Los Angeles, and hopefully I'm answering as many questions as possible for anyone thinking about buying, selling, renting, or investing in LA. Like I said, I have a real estate team out here that helps you do that. We're getting emails every single day. We are helping tons of people right now. It is a great time to buy, as always. And if it's not, I'll let you know. Shoot me an email if you have questions. I'll let you know if you should not purchase a specific investment, because I don't want to stray people away from making poor decision in investing, because this is not a small purchase that you'll be making, especially if you're moving to LA or just going to buy something in LA. But like I said, my name is Darren Kriz. Check out the rest of the videos, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.